In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we have a new lesson for second secondary grade, first semester, English subject, revision, Unit 5, Unit 6, Mega Go 3. Today we will revise vocabulary, write an essay about an unusual job you might like to have, revise how to write an opinion essay, revise tag question, and then we will revise how to express obligation, necessity, and lack of necessity. After that, we will revise gerund and infinitive. What does he do? Now, this boy, what do you think that he's doing? Is he tasting, cooking, or doing something else? Do you think that he is in his job or at home? Vocabulary. Analyze, to study closely. Determine, to decide definitely. Allergens, substances that cause sensitivity or reactions in some people. Identical, exactly the same. Flair, a natural talent or ability. Captive, a person who has been taken as a prisoner. Infection, disease or sickness received from someone or something. Now, match the words with their meanings. We are going to evaluate your knowledge about the vocabulary that we have studied before. Analyze. What matches analyze? The answer is G, to study closely. Excellent. Next, determine. What's determine? Is it to decide or discover? Yes, to decide or discover. Excellent. Now, identifying. What's the answer of identifying? Determining what something is. Is that correct? Yes, determining what something is. Allergens. What about allergens? Substances that cause sensitivity or reactions in some people. Identical. Identical, exactly the same. Excellent. Flair. Flair. E, natural talent or ability. Captive. D, a person who has been taken prisoner. Infection, we only still have. A disease or sickness received from someone or something. Writing. Write an essay about an unusual job you might like to have. Now think about strange jobs, unusual jobs that you might like to have. Before you write, think about or find on the internet the following. Before you write, think about the following or find the following on the internet. Description of the job. Try to find or think about a description of the job. For example, if you say, I want to be arborist, go to Google or Wikipedia and find about arborist. The background you should have for this job. Think about what is the background you should have for this job. Personal characteristics, that would help you perform the job effectively. Use the chart to help you brainstorm and organize your information. Use this chart. First, write the job here. Then, write important background. After that, write job description. Then, write job responsibilities. Then, helpful characteristics. Think about, what do you like doing? What kind of places do you like? And write them down. Do you like spending more time inside or outside? Which place do you spend more time at home? Which place do you spend more time in at home? What are you good at? What would you like to develop or learn? In a separate paper, write the following: personal views, information, feelings, opinions. Then write a job description. Example, you can write the following: although I'm good at, and write what you are good at. For example, chemistry, and everyone expects me to become an engineer. I would like to be a or an, for example, arborist. And think about a job that you are going to have. Opinion essay. When you write an opinion essay, note down what you know about the topic and collect new information. Now you are going to write about your opinion. Note down your personal views on the topic and express your feelings and opinions. Combine your views and feelings with the relevant information and organize each paragraph. Remember that it is your essay and your voice needs to come through. Grammar. Tag question. You live in Spain, don't you? You don't live in Spain, do you? What is the tag question? Excellent. It is don't you and do you. Why we said here don't you, and here we say do you? Why? This is affirmative, negative, negative, affirmative. So we use tag question to check information. When writing tag questions, we use an auxiliary verb and a subject personal pronoun. With an affirmative sentence, use a negative tag. With a negative sentence, use an affirmative tag. Examples. There is a cash machine on Main Street is not there. So, note here, affirmative, negative. We use the same helping verb here, the same auxiliary verb. And if it is affirmative, we put negative. We make it negative. If it is negative, we make it positive or affirmative. They are not going to go look for another job, are they? No. Look, we crossed not and we used are. Affirmative, negative, negative, affirmative, and so on. Now let's continue. You will go to the bank, won't you? You won't work this Saturday, will you? They invested in the property market. We don't have here helping verb. If we don't have helping verb, we either add do, did, or does. With present, we use do or does. With past, we use did. Here, this is past. So we use did. Didn't they? He did not get the job, did he? Note also here we used the short form, didn't they? And here we use the full form, is not there. You can use the full form or the short form. Now, put the correct tag question. Now, after we finished studying tag question, we want to evaluate you. She is collecting stickers. Continue. She is collecting stickers. What can we write here? Isn't she? Okay. We often watch TV in the afternoon. Complete. We often. So we can say do not we or don't we. 3. You have cleaned your bike. Now think about this. You have cleaned your bike. Do we have helping verb? Yes, we do, which is have. So have not you or haven't you. Haven't you? John and Max don't like maths. What's the answer? Do they? Why? John. Why we say they? Because John and Max. Do they? Peter played handball yesterday. Didn't he? They are going home from school. What's the answer here? Aren't they? Mary didn't do her homework last Monday. Did she? He could have bought a new car. Couldn't he? Kevin will come tonight. Won't he? I'm clever, aren't I? Now, expressing obligation. We express obligation using must, mustn't, have to. We use must, mustn't, and have to express obligation in the present and the future. Examples: you must stop at stop sign. You have to slow down at this junction. You mustn't or must not arrive late to work. You have to be at the office at 9 a.m. Note: mustn't means you are not allowed to do something. There is no past tense of mustn't, and the past tense of must and have to is had to. Express necessity and lack of necessity with have to, need to, needn't, don't have to, don't need to. We use have to and need to express necessity in the present, past, and the future. Use the negative form to express lack of necessity. What do you have need to do today? I have or need to finish a report for work, but I don't need to or needn't hand it in until tomorrow morning. What duties did you have to or need to perform in your last job? I need or I had to answer the phone and deal with customer complaints. What will we need to do before we leave for the conference in Abu Dhabi? We will have or we will need to book an airport taxi. We won't have or need to find a hotel. I've done that already.
Now, evaluation. Discuss what you have to
and must do in the situations shown on the international traffic signs. No parking, no passing, speed limit, and no entry. No parking. What can we say about no parking? Can say you mustn't park here, or you must not park here. So either you mustn't park here or you must not park here. What about this? You again mustn't overtake on this road. You mustn't overtake on this road, or you must not overtake on this road. What about this? Traffic sign. You must not drive faster than 70, or you have to adhere to the speed limit of 70. And this no entry, what can you say about this? You must not drive down this road. You must not drive down this road. Now we are going to discuss an interesting subject of grammar, which is gerund and infinitive. Gerunds after verbs. Gerunds are the ing form of a verb. They act like nouns and answer the question, what? Examples: our class enjoys learning about ways to help the environment. Learning is the gerund here. I recommend turning off the lights when you leave the room. We use gerunds after certain verbs such as advise, begin, can't stand, consider, continue, enjoy, finish, go, hate, imagine, intend, keep, like, love, prefer, quite, recommend, start, stop, and suggest. An infinitive is to plus the base form of a verb. So what's the infinitive verb? To plus the base form of a verb. Like gerunds, infinitives act like nouns and answer the question, what? Examples: don't forget to reuse the plastic container. So base form means that you add nothing. You don't add ed or ing or anything else. So to plus base form. This is infinitive. Do they intend to buy? We cannot say to buying or to bought. So, to buy, this is the infinitive form or the infinitive verb. Do they intend to buy a hybrid car? We use infinitives after certain verbs such as agree, ask, attempt, begin, can't stand, continue, decide, expect, forget, hate, intend, learn, like, love, need, offer, plan, prefer, promise, remember, start, try, and want. So these verbs can be followed by an object before the infinitive can be followed by an object. They want to plan a garden, or they want us. Here us is object. It came before the infinitive to plan. Rewrite each sentence using the verb in brackets and the gerund or infinitive. Make any other necessary changes. 1. We are going to set the air conditioner on timer at night. Use plan. we can say we plan to set the air conditioner on timer at night. Number 2, I don't really read newspapers. I like reading the news online better. Use prefer. What can you say here? I prefer what? Reading. I prefer reading the news online to reading newspapers. 3, Arya thinks it's a good idea to print on both sides of the paper. Use recommend. Arya recommends printing on both sides of the paper. 4, I can't believe I left the lights on again. Keep. I can't believe I keep leaving. I can't believe I keep leaving the lights on. 5, gardening is one of my favorite activities. Enjoy. Use enjoy. I enjoy gardening. Number 6, we should continue to find ways to use less energy. Use keep. We should keep what? Finding ways to use less energy. We should keep finding ways to use less energy. Okay, this is the end of our today's lesson. Today we revised vocabulary like analyze, determine, allergens, identical, flare, captive, infection. We learn writing an essay about an unusual job. We said find a description of the job, the background you should have for this job, and personal characteristics that would help you perform the job effectively. Then we revised tag questions. We said with an infinitive sentence, use negative tag. With a negative sentence, use an affirmative tag. Then we learned expressing obligation, necessity, and lack of necessity. We use must, mustn't, and have to express obligation. Express necessity and lack of necessity with have to, need to, needn't, don't have to, and don't need to. And finally, we studied gerunds and infinitives. We said gerunds are the ing form of a verb. They act like nouns and answer the question what. And infinitive is to plus the base form of a verb. These are our references. Thank you for your listening. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.